Okay, so I'm going to try and help you guys out with the hypothesis. I'm getting a lot of my hypothesis is I believe that we did this. Listen, none of that belongs in a hypothesis. It is not about what you think or how you feel. I, we, he, she, it do not belong in a lab paper. When you feel like you want to say I, me, my, say the study, the experiment, this lab, the procedure. Use anything that is not human. Um, those types of statements are personal. A lab report is not personal. It's facts, not feelings. So when you're thinking about your hypothesis and you say, first of all, the prompt question that says, would you drink the water, is there to get you thinking about the water quality. Is it dirty? It goes through a city. Do you think it's pristine enough to drink? And hey, if you do, that's totally fine. That's a testable hypothesis. However, it has to be in relation to the experiment. And one thing that we don't test for is bacteria. And we certainly don't test for germs. So those terms and those, parasites and whatnot, those don't belong in your hypothesis. They don't belong in any discussion whatsoever because they're not being tested for. Now, if the experiment did a bacteria colony or was testing for different parasites and things like cholera and stuff like that in the water, that would be absolutely fine to say. However, this study doesn't do that. This study is talking specifically about agricultural runoff, nitrates, phosphates, what the dissolved oxygen concentration is. Those parameters tell us whether or not the water is clean enough to drink. You can have up to 45 milligrams per liter if you're reading from your book, 10 milligrams per liter if you're reading from the EPA in drinking water. Those are drinking water standards. Okay, so the contaminants in this case are excess nutrients. It's a Goldilocks concept. Too little nutrients, not good. Things can't grow, can't carry out life functions. Too much nutrients, that's bad too. That's going to make you sick. That's going to disrupt your blood and things like that. So stick to what we know. We know we're testing for contamination in terms of nitrate and phosphate, okay? Those are the agricultural indicators that there is something amok in the water. If it's below a certain threshold, and you need to find out what those thresholds are using resources, okay, using reliable values from reputable resources like the EPA, Water on the Web, okay? If they're above the acceptable thresholds, the water is contaminated. If they're below the acceptable thresholds, it's not. So when you write your hypothesis, first of all, you need to say the hypothesis is. Okay, that's just how hypothesi are written. You don't say it's believed, I feel that. No, the hypothesis of this study, the hypothesis of the experiment. This experiment will prove the hypothesis, which is, however, sky's the limit on how you want to word that, but just don't say, I believe. Okay. The study will show or prove the hypothesis. You got to say, you got to let your reader know. Don't make your reader guess what the hypothesis is. Tell them this is it. Use the word hypothesis. And make sure that it's in context. And I'm sorry, I've been reading through hypotheses and I'm just going, where is the, communication getting lost? I know you guys are, you get overwhelmed with this paper, and a lot of times we make it harder than it is. Just the hypothesis of this study is you can't drink the water. That's good enough. Later on, you're going to say why. The hypothesis of this study is it's not contaminated and you can drink the water. Later on, you're going to say whether you can or you can't based on the parameters. It's that simple. Don't make it more than it is. Just not literally what do you think, but what do you expect the experiment to show? Okay, that's it. What do you expect the experiment to show? And what's the purpose? Why are we doing this? Well, we're investigating the water quality. Hands down, that's it. Okay. If you haven't already, make sure you read those guidelines. And guys, pay attention to the rubric. I mean, you really just need to read that rubric and just, fill in the blanks because the rubric is an outline. So that's all I got for you. I hope this helps you understand how to write a hypothesis. And I apologize. I maybe should have waited 10 minutes when I was doing something else before I recorded this video, but I felt like it needed to be said. So there you go. Good luck with your next attempt at your hypothesis. Okay, have a great day. Bye.